Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is Uncle Tim's Will. It was written by Keith Herber, and it's part of a collection entitled Blood Brothers. It's available from Chaosium and from Drive-Thru RPG. Our keeper is Holly Buto, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Mick Swan as his character, Lord Jeffrey Duncan. But before we begin, we do have a new patron. Alex Sun has pledged $3 a month to our channel. Thank you very much, Alex. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Mick?
2 weeks. 2 weeks it takes to sail across the Atlantic. And it's always rough. It's never calm, it's never sunny, it's never pleasant. It's a living hell. But I made the trip. I made the trip because I thought it was in my best interests to do so. And here I am, stuck in that house again, with those people, on the promise of wealth, the promise that I can claw everything back if I can just manage to get on with those insufferable dimwits for 2 days. Things started very badly, it must be said. Fiona had decided to take it upon herself to bribe a member of the local constabulary. Are they called constabulary over here? It might be a sheriff or something, I don't know. Anyway, she bribed this chap to try and pretend that the road was out so that we couldn't get to the house, so that we would lose our share of the inheritance. I think that will give you a fairly decent indication of how things were going to go from that moment on. So far, we've had the reading of the will, which seemed reasonable to me. The estate is left to the 5 of us. Elizabeth didn't turn up for some reason. And apparently there's $250,000 hidden somewhere around the place. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. The condition of the will is that we have to spend the weekend here at the house. Initially, this struck me as just a harmless eccentricity on the part of Uncle Timothy, but I don't know. Things are seeming quite odd now. We're all at each other's throats, obviously. We hate each other. I don't think anyone's making any effort to hide that fact anymore. What is strange is that something's just wrong about this place. I found a secret door. And I played in this house for years as a child and never found anything like that. I would have loved to. I know I would. But the secret door tends to run between the bedrooms, which seems rather unwholesome. There's a safe hidden behind the portrait in the dining room, although I couldn't find the combination for it. What I did find, however, was a journal. I'm not sure what it indicates. I have a feeling that if things came to it, this might be quite useful in undermining Uncle Timothy's will, in that it shows that he was certainly not of a sound mind. It's ramblings, but something about him taking control of the servants or something, and a very worrying intimation that he may have committed suicide by poison. Most importantly, there is a rather explicit indication that he hid something. is something that I would find quite useful. In the Brew House, I have secreted the page in question about my person, just in case anyone else should find this diary. And first thing tomorrow, I will set off to see what I can find. Let's just hope I can keep these irritating, obnoxious American bastards out of my hair for long enough to get on with it.
So, the last we left, I believe you had all gone to bed for the evening. Saturday morning comes bright and early. The sun is shining. The rain has stopped. And Jameson and Henrietta, the maid, have prepared a full breakfast spread for you in the dining room.
I'm going to make the most of the morning, and I'm going to probably skip breakfast except for some coffee. I want to take some photographs outside because I've got my camera, and this place probably won't be about too long in the family possession once it gets sold on. So I want to take a few photographs of favourite areas in the grounds that have nice memories for various reasons. So that's what I'm going to be more or less doing for the next hour or two, because it's a nice day.
All right.
Hello, darlings. How is everyone this morning? I don't care. Going to have breakfast.
Fiona, it's before noon. You must be reeling.
Well, perhaps the excitement of finding money.
Did you find some money?
Who made this coffee?
Well, Henrietta's not French.
What are we having for breakfast? Use pompidou? No?
Didn't find any money. Jack and I found the painting that was in here.
You said there was a safe.
It was a safe. Yeah, it was behind the painting.
Anything in it?
If anybody knows how to crack a safe, by all means. But
Is that
I don't know.
a common Scottish pastime?
Well, I did read one of the Raffles books once. Does that count?
Is it a dial?
Yes.
Yes,
You
that's the
observed that
kind.
it was a dial.
Let me have a crack at it.
Well, isn't Sydney a dab hand with a stethoscope? Surely, couldn't he have a go?
Sydney's not at the table with you. He went out on the grounds.
Yes, I'm talking about him in his absence. It's terribly rude, I know, but
He's such a bore. Couldn't
I
bother
know.
to stay for dinner, for breakfast.
I'm not sure I'd trust him with a stethoscope either.
I'm going to go over to is the painting in this room?
Yes. The
Right.
ghoulish painting of Richard Duncan hangs sternly above the dining room
No,
table.
darling. I'll open it up and
His portrait in here and his blood on the library hearth.
I'll put my ear up against the dial. Start to turn it.
Okay.
I have no locksmithing knowledge whatsoever. It's more a show than anything else. Maybe I'll
Right,
get
sure.
lucky.
Seen a lot of movies overseas, haven't you, Fi?
Well, actually,
She is really
I'm
good
going-
at getting lucky.
I'm going to turn it in the direction that I think that if Uncle Tim doesn't scramble it all the time, it'll just go right to the thing. If you've ever worked one of those combos, if it's on the last move, it'll stick when it gets to the right number.
Okay. Let's call it a luck roll. Let's see if
Okay.
you can manage to get that open.
On a 33, what's my luck? My luck is 65. So I'm
Okay,
like,
so you spend some time. It's going to take you a little bit of time, a little bit of fiddling, but you think you managed to hear that, like the click click.
finders keepers.
Uh,
I guess that means Henry and I share it since we found the safe?
I've found
well, I hate to rain on your parade, but I actually found it some time before you did.
Oh,
I just
thank you.
didn't tell anyone.
Well,
That doesn't count. We have witnesses.
Oh, I think it does count. I'm a gentleman.
a gentleman
my
who
word.
didn't share the fact that there was a safe while we were tearing the house apart looking for.
I assure you, if there were any other gentlemen with whom to share the information, I would have done so.
Oh, no.
Well, what's inside? Cigars?
Moths.
You find a couple of rare older looking artifacts and stacks of bills.
Stacks of bills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got stacks of bills.
Oh, good God, get rid of those.
Gas bills?
Well, you don't have to have any of them.
Oh, no. If there are outstanding bills, then that all comes out of the estate settlement, doesn't it?
You didn't mean money.
I did mean money.
Oh, you did mean money. Okay.
American dollar bills. Yes, sorry.
Oh, I see. American dollar bills.
How big are
Keeper,
my
has
stacks?
the lawyer come to breakfast?
No,
My
he's
goodness, there's probably the equivalent of £5 or possibly £6 worth of dollars there.
I'm a
Yes.
lawyer,
Yes.
Well, let's move it onto the table and count
real
it.
estate novelist.
Move it under the cable and count it, but I'm going to
Well-
see if the solicitor can join us too. The executor.
Well, while these Philistines are poring over the money, I'm going to have a look at these artifacts that.
very well.
fit in there.
We will switch to Sydney,
Yes.
who is walking the estate, taking photographs. Sydney, you take a picture of the lovely estate itself. You take a picture. You decide before heading back to the cemetery, the area that frightened you as a child. You feel drawn to the stables, and your spot hidden roll reveals tire tracks going into the stable,
Trying to have a look
like
to see it.
pressed into the mud, going into the stables.
I'll follow the tire tracks and see if I can peer in or see is there a window, or if not,
The only window is the loft, the hay loft window around the back.
is the door easy to open, or is it locked somehow or
It
chained?
looks a little rusty. Like there's a locking mechanism, but it looks kind of old and rusty.
I'll give it a pull just to
Okay.
see if it loosens it or not. Can't remember him having an automobile.
What's that?
Can't remember Uncle Timothy having an automobile.
Did you
Okay.
manage to give it a pull?
I'll give it a pull. What do I need to roll?
Oh, this is strength. Yeah, just to kind of probably you think
not
probably
about,
good.
not about dice roll. I've got about 8 phones, so no.
No, it's not. You do, like when you pull and the doors kind of, you see something in the back of the barn, large and covered in a drop cloth.
Okay. I'll get back to my photographs for now
Okay.
and everything, and I'll mention it when I get back. I'll take a photograph of the tracks. Not that I'll be able to develop them here, but
Okay.
yeah, I'll take a photograph of them as well. I don't know if I'd have my photograph development sort of developing kit here. Probably just got a film and a camera and stuff like that.
Okay. You pass the gazebo. And you take a few photographs of that as well. It's old. Now it's falling apart. The paint is chipping. You see splinters. Are you going to go inside of it or just kind of take pictures around it?
I'll have a look inside to see if there's anything that's worth taking a photograph of. But if
Okay.
not, concentrate more on the outside.
Fair enough. Make a spot hidden roll.
I succeed, but a normal success.
Something shiny catches your eye. It's fallen between two floorboards on the ground of the gazebo.
I'll see if I can pry it out with something, maybe a pen.
Well, yeah, we'll say you do. And it's a very expensive looking diamond earring.
Oh, wow.
And you recognize that diamond earring because Elizabeth flaunts it every Christmas party.
Oh,
they're large and beautiful.
I'll put it in a handkerchief and put it in my inside pocket, again, to show when I get back inside that I found it.
Very well. And the cemetery, you're taking photographs there as well, yes?
One or two, but like I said, I kind of avoided it when little because it being a cemetery probably spooked me quite a bit. So I probably wouldn't have very much in the way of sentimental memories there, but I'm going to take some photographs of the graveyard just for the record.
Okay. Very good.
Thanks.
Back at the Duncan estate, you all are counting the bills. And Jack, you said you're going to check on the executor?
Yes, I want to wake him up. I want to witness to this number.
That's fair. Nobody answers the knock on the door.
Then I'll ring for Jameson to check on this lawyer. I told him the place was dangerous.
Okay. And he does a little, cursory knock, opens the door and stumbles back. Dear God!
Mm-hmm.
The lawyer, he's been murdered. He's been murdered, Master Jack. Dear God!
Surprised.
Where's Master Sidney? He's a doctor. Where is he?
He's on the grounds, snapping away. Give him a call. I'm going to have a look for the secret door into Mr. Turner's room. It's Turner, right?
Yes. And Jameson goes running out the back door to try to grab Sidney.
What's going on in there? We heard the word murder.
Yes, they killed the lawyer. Surprised?
They?
I don't know the specifics of the assassin.
Oh, I'm going to go check this out.
Yeah,
yes,
please.
I'm staying with the money. I won't steal any money. It's Henry that you have to worry about.
I'm not afraid to pat you down, Fi.
In the lawyer's room. Good.
I was just going to say, have somebody else stay with me then. Mm-hmm. But.
Well, I want to have a look at these other knickknacks, hoo-has, and oojamaflips.
Yes. Lord Jeffrey will stay here with me.
So Harvey and Jack, you walk in and you find the lawyer in his bed in his night clothes, but his chest has been hacked apart very viciously. You can both make sanity rolls.
It was done by a capitalist, I can tell you that. I rolled a 5. I don't care for lawyers.
Just 1 if you pass, D4 if you fail.
Yeah, regular success. So 1.
Okay. Yes. The copper smell just fills the air.
Okay. Well,
I'll touch his arm, maybe around elbow, to see how cold he is.
Pretty cold at this point.
Room temperature, and it's not a cold, chilly day.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
it's not like it happened recently. He's not warm.
I consider myself a bit of a game hunter. Does this look like it was done by somebody that knows what they're doing? Like, I would know how hard it is to hack through.
Sure.
Not a human rib cage, but
Right. This is a total hack job. Like someone just angrily just not the surgical precision of a doctor or anything.
Tell me this, Henry. You've probably seen a few human as well as animal corpses.
But human? No, I'm a lawyer. We merely drink blood.
Common sense tells me that if I wanted to kill somebody with an axe or hatchet while they slept, wouldn't it make sense to go right for the cranium or the neck instead of all the bone right here?
Maybe it was a crime of passion. Was he lying in bed or is he like on the floor?
No, he's in bed, like someone caught him asleep.
Yeah, remember, I woke him up when we saw someone running in the graveyard. He was asleep and grumpy in his nightshirt. He unlocked the door when I knocked for him. So somebody used the secret passages.
And the door was locked when Jamison came.
Yes, he had the house key.
Okay.
So I'd like you, since you are a big, brave killer of innocent creatures, to look inside his ruined torso and see if there's anything missing. And I'm going to look for footprints and fingerprints like they do in dime novels.
While you two are doing that, Sydney, you can hear Jameson's panicked screaming for you. Master Sydney, quick, come quick. There's an emergency. Come quick.
I just start running.
And he takes you straight from the back door. The executor's room is right by the back door. And he's like, oh, it's terrible. So it's terrible. It's right in there.
When nothing's happened.
The executor, sir. It's terrible. He's been murdered. I don't know.
My God. No need for a post-mortem here, is there? I say when I come in the room and see what state the body's in.
Yeah, you can pretty well call the cause.
I need a stethoscope for this one. Wow.
Did Jameson come back with Sydney?
Yes. Sydney is in the room with you now making...
Can I try and gauge how long he's been dead for?
Sure, make a medicine roll.
Fouled.
You're not sure. He's a couple of hours.
A few hours.
But not long.
Well, it's a few hours, so probably done last night.
I'll have to...
Is there a secret door to this room?
Of course, there's a secret door to every room. And the idea is that they used it unless they're under the bed.
And he didn't know about it, did he?
I assume not.
None of us.
Thanked him after he was...
After the meeting, we didn't see him, did we?
Are we able to find any of the bloody footprints, Dexter spatter patterns on the walls?
You see splatter patterns along the wall, and you do see bloody footprints going straight up to one point in the wall.
And those footprints are Fiona's dainty number 10s?
They're small. The small size foot, yes.
But you can't tell a shoe print.
No. You can tell that it's a small foot.
I wear
not
heels,
as large
darling.
as yours.
That's what I suggested. They'd be dainty. And is there a hatchet or axe evident in the room?
No, you don't see the weapon.
Now I can attest that if you were to slaughter a pig or a deer in this manner, you would be covered in blood.
I'm going to go and get a drink.
I am willing to allow any of you, with me being there, to look at my own clothes that I have. None of them are bloody.
You did the murder in your pajamas then? And then
you can check any of my clothes that I have. None of them are bloody. I did not do this.
Well, my point is that anyone who had would have presumably washed and changed. It's been a couple of hours.
You've never washed blood out, Jack.
No, I haven't.
There'd be wet clothes somewhere.
Is there anything else like missing or broken or like has the desk been rifled through or his bag been
His bag looks completely intact. The briefcase that contained the contents of the will doesn't look like it's open, and you can see that it has like lock on a combination, or little briefcase locks on it, and it hasn't been opened, but it's there. You can see it's clearly there. You see his bag is there. And I think, Harvey, you mentioned you wanted to look at the body as well. Yes?
Yeah, I was checking to see like if the person, I don't know, was attacked the way a hunter would or a doctor would, or just crime of passion, whack, whack, whack.
Are you getting in there with the wound, or
not
just
crawling around it?
It does look like a crime of passion. It does look hastily done and with anger or fervor or something like that, not medical precision. Do you have anything like biology, or I know you don't have medicine, but
I have natural world, and that's it.
Okay. Fiona and Jeffrey, you are still sitting at the table completely unbothered by this upset.
I mean, as long as it doesn't disqualify the will.
Okay. Fiona, you can tell that the stacks are in hundreds, so it doesn't take you a very long time to count. It's about $7,000 in cash.
$7,000.
And Jeffrey, you're looking at the artifacts. There's 3 of them. They all appear to be demonic in nature, satanic even. Yes.
Exciting.
So I'd say there's $7,000 here.
$7,000. My goodness, that's nearly £500.
What have you found?
Well, I found these. It appears to be Uncle Timothy's secret collection of satanic bric-a-brac. Bric-a-brac.
No, nothing of value though. No jewels or.
Well,
you can make an appraise roll, Jeffrey.
Let me hastily appraise it.
It could be rubies or.
Oh, 38. That's a standard pass.
Okay. You think the collection of these 3 together, they're exquisitely carved, could probably fetch around $600, the 3 of them.
I would imagine, they're quite interesting looking, but they're practically worthless.
More ritualistic than anything else. I didn't know Uncle Timothy was into the occult.
No, I didn't.
I didn't think he was religious. I don't see any religious art in the house or crucifixes.
What form do these artifacts take?
Think of, I guess, what you would picture a stereotypical demon, like the wings, the horns, the look on his face.
Little statues.
Yes, little statues. Correct. Carved wood. They're pretty.
I wonder if he carved them himself. They're quite. I'll just absent-mindedly drop. Are they? How big are they?
Small. You can hold them in your hand.
Oh, I'll just absent-mindedly drop them into my pockets.
Okay. Those of you in the executor's room, what would you like to do?
Is there anything about, I have esoteric interests, and I've read, some occult business here and there. Is there anything about the executor's murder that seems ritualized?
You can make an occult roll.
I can try to. Well, no. A 90 will not do. I'm going to go straight for the secret passage because I'm hoping that I'll find a weapon and some other evidence.
Is the secret passage where the footprints lead?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to see if that briefcase can open. I want to make sure nobody swapped out the will.
Oh, actually,
Okay.
that's a very good point, Harvey, because we know that Fiona can pick locks. So if she did this, she could have gotten in there. And did Jeremiah bring Sydney
did you
in?
see the speed at which she opened that safe?
I mean, I only had 2 pieces of bacon and a bit of toast. If Jeremiah is here, I want to know how they usually get in touch with people in town, since there's no telephone. Because obviously we have to have the authorities up here now.
Yeah.
You want to go fetch Jameson? He's
Jameson, yeah.
He looked a little green. He walked away.
Yes, we need to get in touch with town somehow.
Can I open the briefcase?
Sure. You find among the lawyer's possessions the keys to the briefcase.
Nobody ever locks these. But yeah, I want to check and make sure if that's the will that he read to us, or it's not missing, or hasn't been changed out.
It looks exactly like the will he read to you last night.
Interesting.
Split estate assets split evenly among all of you.
Okay. Well, they want that theory.
Do you suppose that we're going to be stuck here even longer when the police come?
I imagine we will definitely make the whole weekend here unless they take us downtown. Is there a downtown? We're in the middle of nowhere.
There's a downhill.
No, we can't go downhill. If there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and at least report back to Fiona and Jeffrey what we found.
I'm heading through to Fiona and Jeffrey as well because I left to go and get a drink. So by now I'll probably pour myself a nice scotch and I'll head over to where Fiona and Jeffrey are.
I'm going to stand by the window to get a bit of better light and have another look at. I'll just fish one of the statues out at random and have a look at it. May I make an occult roll to see if it's anything I'm familiar with?
I'm sorry, the statues or what were you asking about?
Yeah, just one of the statues.
Okay, sure.
No, it's not anything I'm familiar with. No, I failed that.
Check this out, Fiona. I'm going to open up the handkerchief and show the earring. Isn't this Elizabeth's? I shall hold it up for her to see.
I'll say that much louder this time. Yes. My God, that's Elizabeth's. Where did you find it? She is here somewhere.
What was the place I found it in? It wasn't the stable, was it?
Gazebo.
Gazebo. It was in the gazebo. And a crack in the floor.
So that was her last night that we saw.
I don't know how long. I mean, it was between the boards. I mean, I only noticed it by accident, but I thought I'd fish it out.
Well, perhaps she stumbled
What I
upon
did notice, though, during that other building, Jack, that we were near the other evening, there's track marks, like a car going up to it. I didn't know Timothy had a car. Not unless it belongs to the executive, of course.
Well,
or it's right outside.
Who knows? So I didn't break the seals on any of the money, but for my best guess, it's about $7,000.
Well,
anyway, it's padlocked, so I couldn't get in.
Well, Fiona can crack anything.
A lovely padlock for you to pick, Fiona.
If Elizabeth is not here, the executor is the only one who had the authority to deny her the inheritance by saying she wasn't here.
That is
well, if any of us go to notify the police, we're going to null and void ourselves from the will by leaving the estate.
Well, who's going to witness? The executor?
Is there a phone here?
I guess it goes over to you, Harvey, doesn't it? Because you're an actual lawyer. I mean, what happens in the eyes of the law when the executor gets murdered?
I think we're all suspect.
But you just brought up a point. We can't leave the property to get the police.
Mr. Turner mentioned last night that his partner would come up at the end of the weekend to help sort everything and perhaps help you search the mansion. So there is another lawyer in town.
We have no reason to murder the lawyer.
Well, I'm saying Elizabeth does, because she was not here at the start of Uncle Timothy's little game.
But why didn't she just show up?
Maybe she was late. I don't know.
Well, and Sydney found her earring. Could I have the earring?
Yeah, it's on the table.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was her favorite earring. So somehow why she came dressed with her earrings unless she was on her way here.
It might have been the last time she was here. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it was last night. I mean, it doesn't look very clean, does it?
We've been abandoned. I tried to find Jameson to find out how we reached the authorities in town because there's no phone. And I can't find any sign of either Jameson or Henrietta in the building.
Well, weren't they he just went out to get to get Sydney.
Maybe
Yeah.
pissed about the 1,500 between them.
Harvey, you got tools, haven't you? Because you've been taking the doors down and stuff.
Oh, they're down in the basement in the workshop.
How about checking out this shed to see what this thing under the tarp is? I couldn't get a good look through the door, but I'm wondering what it was.
All right.
I'm sure there's bolt cutters or a hacksaw.
Yeah, anything would do. It's an old rusty padlock. I just couldn't break it by myself.
Look, you idiots. I'm sorry. You've all been very pampered. There's a murderer probably somewhere on the grounds. We saw someone last night that we could not find. Somebody brutally axed the lawyer to death. And as Harvey pointed out, we have no particular reason to have done that.
Well, except
So
for
we
Elizabeth.
should be very right. If she's here, her earring is here.
I don't think Elizabeth would have the strength to do something like that. I mean, I haven't seen the
She was
body.
never known for subtlety either.
but-
The point is that nobody should be alone. We should probably be mostly in a group together, keeping our eyes out because there's a killer here and we're trapped until Mr. Turner's lawyer partner makes it up the mountain. For all we know, Fiona's little police ruse is going to keep anyone, including the postman, from arriving.
Well, might I suggest then, in order to remove one potential element of discord from proceedings, that we divide up this money now so that no one's tempted to come back and steal it.
7,000 divided by 5. That okay? That's
1,400.
I admit I need the money, but again, not enough to steal it.
I didn't completely count it, so we can officially count it in front of each other, but that's probably what it's for.
if we each take 14 stacks of 100, and it shouldn't take more than a moment. What else was in the safe? Any jewelry or anything?
Oh, just some little carved trinkets, nothing interesting.
Why were they in the safe then?
There was no jewels on them or anything like that.
It's little wooden things.
It looked
let
like
me
chess
see.
pieces.
I don't see anything in here.
Oh, I do. I've got them here. Look, I'll just take them out and just toss them onto the table. See, look, they're nothing special. Bit garish, really. But
Well, they're given that we have family that goes back to Salem, they might be quite valuable, actually.
But they're not ivory or
wouldn't have
ebony.
thought so.
Oh, I would think a carving of a demon from Salem, Massachusetts, from hundreds of years ago, would be of considerable interest to an historian.
Well, I should think it would be, but that's just your imagination at work, isn't it? You don't know that they're from Salem.
Besides,
Harvey
from a
would like
flea
to do an
market.
appraise.
screw the historians. I mean, they want stuff that nobody else wants. This is not theirs.
I'd like to appraise them.
Do you know anything?
Out of Jeffrey's pockets.
Well, do you know anything about this sort of thing, Jack? Is it something you've studied while you've been at college?
No,
As far as you know, there's junk.
it's not a fumble.
I've got a hard occult roll, however, 13.
Okay. This
13. Should get
This
a bonus
does
for that.
look
Yeah.
familiar to you. In drawings and pictures you have seen from around that era, the Salem witch trials, things like that. And this, it also kind of makes you think of like sacrifice and ritualistic sacrifice and things like that.
You know, not only, Jeffrey, are these not yours, but part of our family history. But, you know, given the ancient bloodstain on the library hearth, these could be, I don't know, significant. At any rate, you can't have them. We have to have them sold and divided up if you insist on...
If that's what you want. I mean, the only reason I had them is because I was just over by the window looking at them.
I always put things in my pocket after looking at them. That's true. God,
Really?
Desperation.
Is that something you learned? Is that something you learned
Oh,
at
please
college?
stop fighting. We still haven't found the 250,000.
If it
Well,
exists.
I'm interested in these tire tracks. I know it rained last night. I want to check the cemetery, see these tracks last night, since we clearly did not hallucinate that.
What was that you were saying, Sydney, about going out and checking some shed?
That's the same place.
Yeah,
Sydney,
so
go ahead. Go ahead.
I went and grabbed a poker. You saw me grab a poker from the fireplace. I've got to go outside to get my camera stuff because I left it outside anyway. So I'm going to go and collect that, and then I'm going to have a go at that padlock.
Oh, I'll come and see if I can help you. I'm usually quite.
Your company's more than welcome, old boy. Always a pleasure.
I am a large and imposing man, after all. Perhaps I will be able to force it.
Did we
Well,
divide
large.
the money yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say you did, yes.
Okay, because I'll be taking that back to my room where I will be recovering the revolver that I stuck in my suitcase last night.
Very well.
Curiosity's
Fiona
got,
and go ahead. No, you were saying what you were
curiosity's
gonna do.
got
Go
the
ahead.
better of me. I'm going to wander over and take a look at the dead guy.
Okay. And Jack.
Well, with everyone rushing off willy-nilly, despite my inspiring speech of solidarity, I want to see who got into the mausoleum last night and what they did. So I'm going to look for a tool in the cellar that will get me through that chain. And I'm also, given that we know our ancestor whose portrait covers the safe was a master brewer, I've seen no signs of a brewery. So I'm going to see if there's something in the cellar. Because we've got a missing element.
I think it's in that building. I think it's got something to do with the brewery. That's why I want to open it.
So Sydney and Jeffrey, we'll start with you. You go to the stables with the correct tools. It's such an old lock. We'll say that I won't even make you roll for it. You have the tools now. You can clearly bludgeon it, however, and get it open.
I say Jeffrey's a big guy. I let him give it away.
Yeah.
I'll give it a harsh talking to.
Inside, you find old horse keeping materials, tack, and things like that. But Uncle Timothy never kept horses in your lifetime. But you do see that very large, boxy shaped thing in the back of the barn under a drop cloth.
Try and remove the drop cloth so we can have a look and see what it is.
It's a
Handkerchief over my
Mercedes,
face so I don't get any dust, of course.
right? It's a Mercedes Roadster with Rhode Island license plates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello.
Mm-hmm.
I say.
Wasn't expecting to see that. Didn't know he had a car. Didn't know he could drive.
Yeah, it seems the old chap had a little bit more taste than I imagined.
Is it quite buried or is it easy to get to?
No, it's new. The tire marks lead right to it. It's a really shiny, newish looking vehicle.
Shall we see if we can start it?
Well, if you want.
Have you got any experience with automobiles, old boy?
Oh yeah, well, I keep a Lagonda.
You have the pleasure, and I'll let you try and start it. I'll lift the hood up just in case there's any problems.
I'll get in and does it need a starting handle?
Probably.
Yes.
I
When you
should
get
do
in,
that.
you notice in the passenger seat there's a purse.
I'd say this doesn't look like Timothy's sort of thing, does it?
Bit feminine for him, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to open it and have a look inside.
You find a wallet. You find a lighter, a pack of cigarettes, and a wallet with an ID for Elizabeth Duncan, and about $300 in cash.
I think you might need to come and look at this, Sydney.
What have you found, old chap?
I've found Elizabeth's identity document.
So we've got her up. And I found her earring in the gondola. Well, she's the only one that's not here, and we've got a dead body on our hands.
Well, I'm not one to jump to conclusions, but I think this might be her car.
Yeah, well, it makes more sense her being her car than him. But it's the thing.
Where did he ever go?
He didn't. That's why I was so interested in the tracks. I thought it might have been the lawyer's car. But so if we've got an earring here, we've got a car here and a purse, but we haven't got her. Somebody was seen in the grounds last night.
You think
maybe if she turned up and she knows she's late, she knows she's going to be exempt from the will. So therefore, if she kills the executor, I don't know. I just can't figure out why. If it was her, why would she murder him?
Elizabeth, she's just a slip of a girl. She's not going to be able to kill him.
Oh, I don't know. You'd be a bit
kill a man, even a lawyer.
Oh, and everybody can murder, old boy, if they've got the incentive to. Just a question, can they live with the regret of doing that afterwards?
Now, look, no. Come on, I've it's not something I like to admit to, but I have occasionally, when I've been in town, occasionally in Edinburgh at my club, I've read a true crime magazine, and that's an axe isn't a woman's weapon. Poisoning, that's how women kill people, poisoning.
Well, women have used axes. There's that poem about that one that used an axe and gave them 40 whacks or something, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, yes. You're quite right. But no, not Elizabeth. I mean, not.
I'd like to think so. I wouldn't like it to be anybody in the family, to be honest.
No. My guess is she's if anything, she's come up here with some fella.
Yeah.
And between
she has an accomplice. Maybe they're in the morgue or something like the Brewing House.
But why bump off the lawyer? It makes no sense. I mean, if she bumps off us, then she gets
Doesn't it make the reading of the will null and void because the executor's been murdered? So therefore, if any of us survive the weekend, it'll be easier to do a rereading of the will and be available.
Well, I don't know. We'd have to discuss the practicalities of that with our shyster cousin.
Oh, do we really have to go back inside? I spent half the morning out here, so I'd have to listen to the bloody insults.
Well,
so
I was quite interested by what was said earlier about where he did the brewing.
Maybe that's in the basement because we haven't been in the basement yet, have we?
Can't do brewing. I mean, you need big vats and things for brewing.
Depends on what bigger scale and what you're actually brewing, doesn't it? I mean, if you're doing wine, it's going to be different to beer, isn't it?
I'd thought he might have done it in here, but clearly not. What other buildings are there on the grounds? There's the woodshed. There's the old gazebo.
Isn't there a mention of a brewery house?
You've never heard of a brew house before.
No. Okay, then. Probably the basement. None of us have been down there yet, have we?
I think Harvey went down there, didn't he, to fetch some
Oh.
tools?
Offer you a cigarette.
Oh no, I've got my own thing.
Just to waste a few more minutes before we go back in there.
Well, let's just have a. Well, I mean, while we're here, I'm going to have a search about in this place.
I'm going to have a cigarette.
Going back to the family and the manor. So, Fiona, you're checking the lawyer's body. Harvey, you've gone to go fetch a gun and tools. And Jack, remind me again what it is you're going to do.
I'm going to the cellar to look for an appropriate tool to break open the mausoleum.
All right.
And also just check out the cellar. I'm wondering if there's brewing materials down there.
Okay. And Harvey, where were you headed with your materials?
I was going to get some tools, and then I was going to go out to the stable garage.
Okay. Then we'll say you meet up with Sydney and Jeffrey and after their discovery. Fiona.
What I was going to say is I'm not going in.
Okay.
Because I see the blood, but it suddenly dawns on me, being a woman, that whoever did this would have their clothes would have been covered in blood, like the other guy said. They would have to at least attempt to wash the clothes. So I'm going to go wherever in this house I think that they wash clothing and look for something bloody in the laundry pile.
The basement. I would say likely the basement.
Okay. Then I'll head for the basement as well.
Okay. The two of you go down into the basement and you see these strange copper shavings littering the floor of the workshop and rivets everywhere. You know that Uncle Timothy was not a man to work with his hands.
Does that seem like brew house kinds of materials to me?
Copper.
I mean, that seems like a distillery more than a beer making operation offhand.
Well, I don't know. I know, but I don't know anything about beer making.
But there aren't any bubbling vats or signs of old disused bubbling vats or sacks of grain or...
There are tools down here, but no, nothing like that.
And are the tools well organized?
Yes. Like somebody's used them kind of recently, actually.
Are there places for hatchets and axes that are empty?
Yes. There is one that looks like it should be maybe for cutting the wood, a long-handled axe. Mm-hmm. It's not there.
Any kind of clothing washing machine?
Yes, I guess so. I'm not overly familiar with the clothing washing techniques of the 20s, but yes. Right. Yes.
I will look to see if there's a pile of dirty clothes or anything like that. I mean, I know the servants would have done the clothing, but there should be something down here indicating that. You know what I'm looking for.
Right. Yes, you do. You find the maid's outfit. And it's got a lot of, well, someone's tried to clean it, but as Harvey said, it's very hard to clean blood off of clothing.
Jack, look here. And I hold it up.
Good Jesus, Henrietta. But, well, all right. So we have to find out where Henrietta and Jameson are hiding. They couldn't have driven away without us hearing.
Why would they kill the lawyer?
Jameson seemed totally surprised. Maybe Henrietta had some sort of episode, or maybe Elizabeth put on Henrietta's maids.
They were getting
Clothes?
money out of this, weren't they?
If they were getting a pittance, if they knew where the chunk of $200,000 was. But
That's
if
true.
Elizabeth disguised herself in Henrietta's clothing,
Oh, I don't think they're anywhere near the same size. Could Elizabeth have fit in?
Yes, actually, they were
Okay.
of similar.
and would you
body
need?
type.
I mean, you didn't have to fool. She didn't have to fool anybody. You just leave somebody else's clothes behind. It's not like she woke up the lawyer and said, "Hi, I'm the maid," and then attacked him.
Has anybody seen Henrietta this morning at
No,
any time? I mean, who made breakfast?
Jameson served breakfast. We only saw Jameson. I sent Jameson out to get Sydney. He seemed very shocked. And when I went to look for both of them, I went up and down the house and I called in every room, and there's no sign of them.
Well, I wouldn't. Were they Were they married, or were they?
No,
They're
they were
just servants.
Jameson's quite old, and Henrietta's middle age.
I mean, I suppose there's a motive for murder if somebody wanted that 250 the money and killed the other one. I mean, you could use. It's too much for my mind. But you see where I'm going.
Yeah, although, again, if Henrietta and Jameson, together or separately, found a cache of diamonds or bullion or whatever you parasites stock your cash away in, it's not as though they were to be searched. They could have just secreted the material away and said, "Oh, I'm so grateful for my $500 and my $1,000," and packed their bags and gone. Murdering the executor is the last thing they would want, because there are going to be all kinds of authorities up here as soon as anyone finds out. I wish somebody would come up here and take charge. I don't like being alone with these ghouls, and we don't know. All right. So I'm looking for heavy loppers or a good solid pry bar.
Yes, we'll say you can find a pry bar.
Actually, I would like a chisel and a sledgehammer, because I can defend myself with a sledgehammer if worse comes to worse.
Surprisingly, and this does strike you as odd, you do find that. Because you're not sure why Uncle Timothy would have anything like that.
There were probably stonework around the place at some point. It might be old. Anyway.
Could it be plumbing? I'm looking at the copper pieces. Could they have
they're like
the
shavings.
pipes?
It looks like finer work. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just don't know about these sorts of things.
No.
I want to go tell the others to watch out for Henrietta.
And Elizabeth. Well, I'm gonna circle. Let's go out together.
All right.
I'm gonna walk once around the main building to see if there are soggy footprints of an old butler and a middle-aged murderess. It rained all night. There should be soft ground.
Okay. Harvey, you come up into the stables where you find Sydney and Jeffrey standing by a car.
Right.
Harvey.
Armed with my hacksaw, like, oh, well.
How you doing? Do you want a cigarette?
Actually, I would.
Yeah, what's up?
Mind.
Elizabeth's car. What's that leaning on it?
Well, we think it's Elizabeth's car. It's got her purse and ID.
Oh, well, that's rather interesting. Now, were there these tracks? Didn't you say there were tracks leading into the garage?
Well, these were made by Elizabeth's car. They then went out there. The only other tracks we found last night were the footprints around the cemetery, but I should imagine they've gone by now, I should imagine.
Maybe. I would like to use tracking to see if I can gauge if these were done after the rain started, or about how long ago this was, or anything I can about the tracks.
Okay, go ahead.
Problem is, I always come up with great ideas, and my dice are like, no. Let's see.
You're a successful big game hunter, so you should be quite good.
Okay, regular success.
You think this was probably done about a day ago, like during the rains, but by your guess, maybe earlier yesterday.
Okay. I'm going to pass that along. I'm going to say that I can't be 100% sure, but these tracks were done since it started raining. And it looks like it happened before any of us arrived, possibly yesterday morning.
We're going to have a wander around in the cemetery, see what we can find down there. Now it was chained. The mausoleum was chained up.
Well, I've got a hacksaw.
Well, then let's go.
Well, real fast. I'd like to check out the stable, see if there's anything I can find. Were there keys in the car?
No.
Yes, there were keys in the car. But you're walking around the car and you notice that the tires have been slashed.
Oh. Jeffrey, good job. You beat me to it.
Oh, I'm going to, in that case, I'm going to poke at them demonstrably with my cane.
Yes, sir, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, definitely slashed.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't do that?
No.
Yeah, but we were going to try to start it up to see if we could drive it about for weeks.
Yes, yeah, we thought it. Well, initially we thought it might have been Uncle Timothy's car, and then it seemed a bit too racy for him. And then when we found the purse, which was again not really his style, that we know.
It's more of a Chanel man.
Yes. He's, I always imagined him being a little bit more tasteful.
So Elizabeth pulled her car into here, slashed her own tires, and locked the door with a padlock.
It seems unlikely when you say it out loud.
And then paraded around in the gazebo so enough for her earring to fall out. I'd like to just get a look around this place, and then I think
she was carried there.
She could have been, but then I say we go check out that mausoleum.
Yeah.
After this,
good idea. I mean,
don't have a cigarette.
I don't want to jump to conclusions, but are we all leaning towards the assumption that Elizabeth's been bumped off?
I would think. I was suspecting Elizabeth, except for the slashed tires.
She's not usually this shy and retiring. She usually would have announced herself by now, because she likes to be the centre of attention, doesn't she?
Well, it's true,
just if she did this to try and get rid of us and get more of the inheritance, A, she wouldn't have bumped off the lawyer, and B, she would have been here at the reading of the will to qualify for the inheritance.
Except if she killed all of us, she would be the last heir. It doesn't matter what the will says.
Or
she would have an alibi of not being here, but then why would she slash her own tires?
Or whoever bumped her off and slashed her tires just bumped her off because they're intending to bump us.
Well, let's go to the mausoleum, but for goodness sake, let's go cautiously.
I'd rather go before it gets dark.
We've no guarantee that she came alone.
Shit, I hadn't thought about that.
I've got that poker. I've got the poker, so I can give somebody a whack.
I've got my cane.
Right, let's go then, chaps. One more cigarette, just to boost the courage and a bit of the hip flask, and off we go.
I'm going to have one of my own cigarettes.
What brand are you on now?
Taylor's Egyptian Ovals.
Really? That's right. No, I'll try to bum one off you later on today.
If you must.
Well, might find a new brand, you never know.
So you are going to take a look around the barn, correct? And then go to the mausoleum?
Yeah, just give a good
Right.
once over, make sure she's not hiding in here.
Right. No, all you find here are standard horse carrying equipment and like a pitchfork or two for the hay.
Okay.
Fiona and Jack.
Jack, darling. Jack, do you, how are you?
Spiritually, morally, ethically, physically. Do you know what I'm worried about? They've run off, and who knows what there is for lunch, supper. I don't know how to cook. You, God knows, I would trust you to burn coffee.
Don't worry about that. I think that we need to get to the others, wherever they are.
Well, I'm going around the house. You can come with me, and we can yell for them. I can't have gone far. Are you anxious about something in particular, or has it just been, a few hours since a man?
It's so much has happened. So much is. I'm not sure that I'm thinking clearly.
Good God, Phi. You haven't thought clearly since
let's
1918.
Let's warn the others about Henrietta.
Right.
So if we go outside,
sensibly around the building, looking at the ground, two sets of footprints. Try to stomp on everything. Don't ash in my face.
Just stay behind you. If I see any indication of where they are, I'll go, yoo-hoo!
You see them coming out of the barn. Yes.
Little poker. Hello.
It's Henrietta.
We found Elizabeth's car.
We found Henrietta. Her bloody clothes. She murdered the lawyer.
Did she say Henrietta? My ears aren't what they used to be.
I think she did.
God,
Isn't that the cool?
Purple now.
We found the car.
As you four leave the barn, you realize all of the cars parked in the driveway have had their tires slashed.
Oh.
I'll never get my bloody deposit back now.
Jesus. Okay. Listen.
What bugger did that?
I tried.
Sharp knife and too much time on their hands.
The servants have run off. The lawyer has been murdered. We have no way to reach the village. We're being trapped here. We have to stop acting like selfish idiots.
Well, you could always lead by example.
Yes,
what
Jack,
did you say about
get help.
Henrietta?
Well, Henrietta's maid's outfit is downstairs.
Let me tell it. I found the clothes. I looked in the laundry, and I found Henrietta's clothing all bloodied.
Knew it.
But we also guessed that Elizabeth could have worn her clothes in order to throw us all off track.
Well, we think Elizabeth arrived possibly yesterday morning.
I was suspicious that it was she that we saw running toward the mausoleum.
Well, whoever slashed our tires seems to have slashed hers as well, which would be odd if she was coming to kill us. And
it puts us back on the servants for sure.
Sorry, did anyone else hear that?
Showed up early, and they.
Did you hear something, Jeffrey?
Did you just hear whispering?
What did you hear?
My own voice.
You heard whispering?
Have you been getting voices, Jeffrey?
Don't mock me, young man.
You're the silly old Scotsman, Scotch, whatever you say.
Jeffrey, did you hear whispering?
No, I didn't hear a thing.
Not you, Jack. Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Jeffrey. What did you hear?
I'm loath to say.
Was it Uncle Timothy?
Well, now that you mention it, yes, it did sound rather a lot like Uncle Timothy.
What did it say?
Something about the library.
Well, that's where the haunting is.
It's not what he said to me.
Sorry, Fi?
I'm sorry. I think I also heard when we were leaving the house, I thought I heard somebody whispering my name.
Why don't we get a glass and have one of those seance things?
Oh, for goodness sake, man. This is serious.
Well,
yes, someone was.
It's how you're meant to talk to them, isn't it?
In the hollow walls.
No. There's got to be a rational explanation. Are there any grills, drains near here? Can we see any drains? Everyone, look.
No, I'll look. I think if you heard something inside, it was someone on the walls. So but Jeffrey probably heard something of a drain.
It was a whisper. It was too faint to be somebody talking from inside the walls and hearing.
Probably your conscience.
Except I thought that too. Except that now Lord Jeffrey's heard the whispering.
Did you plan the murder together?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, man.
Why would we be sitting here telling you this?
Well, with Dostoevsky, people crack up after they commit murders for greed. Look, I've got this. The sledgehammer is quite heavy. I'm going down to the mausoleum. I'm going to pop the bugger open. Somebody went in there last night secretly. Maybe they put the bloody axe in there. No, the lawyer was killed after that.
I'm with Jack. I say we check the cemetery, and then we'll go back to the house.
And all right, let's get over and done with. Let's get over and done with. Rather stand around in the garden arguing with each other.
Is there any indication that the servants have actually left the property? If they're murderers, they could be waiting for you around the corner with an axe.
If they're murderers, do you really want them cooking you dinner?
Keeper, I take it that there were no signs of footprints and no servants.
The gates
you found the same footprints the same footprints you found last night that led into the cemetery in the mausoleum area.
So nothing that could be Jameson.
Are the gates open?
The gates.
The gates to the property.
Oh, there are no gates. It's just.
Oh, there wasn't.
Oh, come on, let's go and have a look at this bloody mausoleum, and then we can get ourselves indoors.
We should all stick together.
I would like to use tracking on any tracks I can still find.
Okay.
I mean, I hate you all, but I'm not a murderer. So one of you might be.
The one thing I'm good at, extreme.
Very well. So you find, just as we said last night, you find them going straight into the mausoleum. You find them going into the woods. You think you might be able to follow them to where they went.
I will share that.
Okay.
Well, I have to say, Harvey, I'm glad for that. Last night in the dark, we had to give up right at the forest edge. If you could track these further, there's some hidey hole back here.
Oh, maybe with a bloody axe in it. I say we check out this path into the woods.
Okay. Mausoleum or woods? Just so I have.
Why didn't we
invent woods?
The mausoleum, and then we'll check these wood tracks while they're hot.
Okay. So you're going to the mausoleum first.
We didn't see that last night, did we?
Whoever has the pry bar can make a strength roll, and I'll give you a bonus die with it.
First is a success. Second is not, so it's a good thing I had a bonus.
Okay, so you
But
pop open the
pin in,
chains.
heavy thing
Yep.
down, pop it off, swing it open.
Inside are rows of, I guess, coffins, however they lay out mausoleums, secured into the walls.
Is it, is the dust on the floor unmarred?
Oh no, someone's been in here recently.
All right. So, and how is it? Is it 8 feet deep, 10 feet deep? How many Duncans are stored?
It's 6 rows of 3 or 6
columns of 3.
Yes.
On
6
each
columns
side.
of 3. Yes.
Are they all full, or are they all named?
Yeah, you can see the plaques for each person.
Because it's only, I recall that it's only resident Duncans that get into the mausoleum, and there haven't been all that many.
Right.
There were no permanent residences for a while. All right.
Is there one for Uncle Tim?
Yes, there is.
Let's slide that baby out first.
Okay. You pull out the coffin for Uncle Timothy and you open it, and inside you find 2 things. You find the perfectly, pristinely cleaned bones of Timothy Duncan, as in there are no human remains clinging to him, although he died only 10 days ago. And heaped on top of that is the hacked up body of Elizabeth Duncan, her chest, just like the lawyers, hacked open. You can all make sanity rolls.
1. I didn't like her much.
Oh, 17. 17. Bloody sodder.
1 if you pass, D6 if you fail.
Regular success.
Oh, no.
I think Jack had a favorite.
Like that bitch.
I didn't like Elizabeth, but that's 5.
Oh, okay.
5
Make
and
your
1.
yes.
All right, so not that smart, but I'm smart enough to make a regular success.
Oh, you succeeded?
Yeah, 29.
All right. Roll for your bout of madness.
Are you a D10? D8? People have different.
Tom, do you have the table for the bout of
I do.
madness? Andy?
D8.
What is it? Is it 10 and 8? Okay.
D8.
5, please.
Psychosomatic. Roll a D8 again.
Boy.
6.
Your legs stop working.
You just collapse to the ground.
And that's for 1d10 rounds.
Jack can't handle it.
I'll go and try and help him up. I've been a doctor and everything like that. I try and give him a bit of support. See if I've got some smelling salts or something on.
Well, so much for the brave revolutionary.
He's still young. He hasn't seen much.
Well,
Why aren't your legs working?
You're right, Jack. You're right, Jack. It's Sydney. Take it easy, mate. You're safe. Everything's all right.
I'm gonna poke at the bones with my cane.
yeah, these can't be Tim's.
How are they so clean? Yes.
Sydney, you can make a medicine roll looking at them.
Certainly.
Did Uncle Timothy have any missing fingers, any gold teeth, an extra
For
thumb?
goodness sake, you're not after the man's teeth as well, are you now, you shameless Shylock
I'm trying to see-
bastard?
To identify who it
I
is.
succeeded in a normal roll.
Okay, you remember that Timothy walked with a limp because he had a pretty nasty compound fracture later in life, and you can see that there on that leg.
But it's definitely his skeleton. That's just wouldn't reach such a state of decay so quickly. Not even in these condition.
Unless somebody cleaned it.
Maybe they could boil the bones like they do for medical.
Or he's been dead longer than we thought he has.
Oh no,
That's definitely his skeleton. See his leg. He always has a limp. I point it out to him and stuff.
If the body had decayed, there would be evidence of that surrounding it. There would be. I mean, these
you would have thought so. You would have thought so. I mean,
things are airtight.
Climate and air.
How long was Elizabeth hacked to pieces? Is she's had her heart ripped out?
Her chest.
Like the lawyer.
Sydney, you want to look over Elizabeth too?
I'll do a medicine roll. I see if I.
Yeah,
Well, I do a lot better with this. I succeed with a hard success.
Her heart's ripped out.
Her heart is gone, and this looks almost identical, or basically identical to what happened to the lawyer. So you could assume the same for the lawyer as well.
Yeah, same method of death. You look at those cut marks.
Lawyer's heart missing too.
Sydney didn't look at it clearly, but it looks so similar.
I asked you to look inside his chest, Harvey, you brave hunter.
But that was
I didn't. It didn't occur to me now. I should look to see if his heart would still be right.
One of you, I can't get over there. Someone's been in Richard's casket as well. Yeah, you can see there's smudges in the.
Right, let's haul Richard's casket out and see what Richard's got for us, shall we?
Good God, it's like being
Well, the day's not going to get any worse, is it?
While they're doing that,
I will help Sydney.
I passed my sanity really well.
Okay.
Is Elizabeth still wearing the other diamond earring?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you chaps over here on this side of the pond, you have this curious habit of embalming people when they die.
It depends.
Well, I'm told it's something to do with the Civil War or something.
It's been common since the Civil War. It's just another capitalist racket.
But you can
rob
request
the
not
bereaved.
to have it done.
Well, either way, I mean, there's no. If a body rots, there'll be some form of detritus left.
Oh, of course.
These bones have been cleaned.
I'm going to go stand outside.
Okay. Yeah, they're pristinely clean. Sydney and Harvey, you pull away Richard Duncan's coffin.
Okay.
Inside, it's 300-year-old bones, so it's kind of hard to tell what condition they would have been in.
Mm-hmm.
He has no clothing, and he is clutching like an old journal.
Do you want to grab that journal, Harvey?
Sure. Maybe it'll tell us what those figures were.
Okay. His last. Are you looking through it? I'm sorry. Are you looking through the journal?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll probably step out into the light to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
His last entries are most intriguing.
Leave me in here, you bastards. I can feel my left leg.
Such methods are dark and dismal and require the rending of the witch's body down to its purest grease. The bones that remain are discarded. This grease is to be kept in a proper vessel and heated, but not so as to cook until the proper number of hearts can be obtained. 7 hearts was the number told by me by the Arab, but some say 6 or even 5. The hearts are to be placed in the kettle with the witch's grease. No other magics need be applied. If the proper signs were made on the body and the witch performed the rite of calling on the day before their death, and the rending complete and correct, the witch will gain a new body and a new life. The fools down in Hampton are stirring again. Blast their souls to hell. The basement of the
Brew House
has been cleared and the rending equipment is ready. The vessel's made of copper, as is believed best, is not yet complete, perhaps. 2 more days. I do not think they are ready to approach the house. They know I am not unguarded. I think we'll have time to complete my plan, but I will be forced now to rely on the loyalty of my servants while I am betwixt. I suspect even now that the groom Eli has sneaked down to the village and there informs the townsfolk of what it is I do up here. I will question upon his return. The brew house is less than a mile north of the house. The townsfolk will find it for sure. I can only hope the servants keep them from discovering the cellar. I know where the brew house is.
Fiona, you've stepped away for a few minutes. You stepped outside of the mausoleum, and you can hear the shuffling behind you. And when you turn, it's Jameson, and his eyes have rolled into the back of his head, and he has a very large butcher knife clutched. He opens his mouth, and you can hear Uncle Timothy's voice. Give Uncle Timmy your heart, Fiona.
I'm screaming.
Your precious heart.
I'm screaming and
Make a dodge roll.
backing up slowly the way they do in old scary movies.
And high heels in the mud.
81. That is a failure.
Ooh. All right. So he raises the butcher knife and let's see. Oh my God. 8 damage as it sinks into your side. Do you need to make a con roll?
Yeah, that gives me 2 points left.
And you all hear Fiona screaming.
That is a really massive failure. I fall to the ground.
Rush outside, I think.
I had said I was stepping out to read.
Yes.
So if she's like on the other side of the mausoleum or wandered away, I am out and I am drawing the revolver.
I'm looking for the coconut I put down to move the coffin.
Okay. Let's
Bloody
see.
good job she was wearing red. Good planning.
What is everyone's dex?
45.
50.
I'm 60,
80.
but I'm just standing up.
Right.
80. I'm an Olympic athlete.
Sydney, you're 50?
80.
I'm
80.
50.
Oh, and 50. Sorry. All right. So yeah, Sydney, you see Jameson with the butcher knife over Fiona. What are you
I'm going
doing?
to grab the poker I laid down when I pulled the coffin out. So I'm probably scrambling around looking for it so I can grab it. That'll probably take most of my time.
Right. Okay. Jameson's already gone. Nope, he goes last. Anyway, Harvey and Mick. It's Harvey and Jeffrey.
Go on, Harvey.
I'm going towards the scream, revolver in hand.
Yep. You see Jameson. You weren't far, so you see Jameson poised over Fiona. She's collapsed to the ground. I'll let you have an action if you want to take it.
I would like to shoot him with my revolver.
Okay.
This isn't my strong suit. I'm really good with a rifle. So I would like to burn 6 points of luck.
All right.
To make that a success.
Very good. Roll for damage.
Since I found that here, I don't have the weapon damage. 30, it's a D10?
D10. 38 revolvers is D10, yes.
Okay. Eight.
Ooh. And Jameson also collapses to the ground as he fails his con roll. So the rest of you will say you can kind of muster, and you find Fiona and Jameson both on the ground, both in critical condition.
I'm going to do first aid on Fiona to make sure the bleeding stops so she stands a chance of surviving.
Go ahead.
I'm going to kick the butcher knife
Okay.
away from Jameson.
Normal success for the first aid.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
Fiona,
good
you're
stuff.
stabilized.
I get
Try
one
to
back.
stabilize her.
Yes, you get
Yeah.
one back. You're stabilized. Jack, your feet have, your legs have found themselves.
Jameson just going to let him die.
I'm gonna circle this little group holding the sledgehammer, handle and under the neck to see, whether Henrietta's right behind him with a secondary attack.
You see two things kind of happen simultaneously. You see Henrietta come out of the home, and she is also carrying a large knife. And as you're viewing this, the ground begins to shake, and the graves in the cemetery open up, and you can see skeletal hands begin to crawl from their graves. And in one echoing unison, you can hear, "Give Uncle Timmy your precious hearts." And it's his voice that you can hear coming from all of them.
Sanity roll?
Sanity rolls, yes. As the ancestors of the Duncan family all come out of their
Also,
graves.
we can all see this.
Yes,
Right,
everyone's up and about.
I succeed in my sanity roll.
Okay,
I'm
just one.
fine.
If you are completely undisturbed. Just one. If you
Just
fail,
one,
it's six.
okay.
Six.
Oh,
Six.
I've passed again. I am absolutely a rock of a man.
I'm running.
By 2 points because I just got back on my feet. So I'm like, all right.
I passed my intelligence because I'm at death's door, and I know I'm at death's door.
I'm going to try and pick you up and try and run away with you, so to speak, and get to safety, so to speak. I can't leave you there, so you're not that big, so I should be able to lift you.
Man, it's no time for eloping.
Uh-oh. What do you have?
I got paranoia. You're all in on this. You're all doing this. It's all to get me. You all
Shut up.
hate me. You all hate me.
So Sydney, you're kind of like hauling Jack to his feet. What are you guys doing? Because they're all kind of bearing down on you.
Picking up Fiona.
Fiona, okay.
And carrying her because she can't really run with that wound. And if someone can try and get Jack to his feet, we can try and get out of it.
No, I'm upright again.
You're going to
And
take me inside and kill me, aren't you, Sydney?
I actually really like a sledgehammer against moldering grave things. Like as soon as a hand comes up, whatever is nearest me, I'm just going to bring the sledge down.
Okay, go for it.
Seems like a perfect tool. Now, is that a fighting brawl, even though it's with an implement?
Yes, we'll say that's a fighting.
Fine. I rolled an 18, so that's a hard success for my first
Excellent.
grave smash.
Sledgehammer. Let's see what that looks like.
Well, we can see what a club is, but it's got to be worse than a club.
Well, give me the club and we'll go.
Club is
better.
1d8 plus damage bonus.
And I'll give you a 10 with damage bonus then. It's got heft.
Damage bonus for me.
You hit
But I got a 7 with that one.
Okay. So you shatter its hand as it comes up, but it is still coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll give everyone an action to decide what they want to do, and then they're going to be bearing down on you. So what do you want to do?
Trying to run away.
Where are you running?
Heading for the main, out the cemetery, across the car park, and out the gate, and down the mountain.
Okay, you're running for the
Carrying
mountain.
me?
Yeah, I'm running to get out. I don't care about inheritance. I'm leaving the estate.
Okay.
But you're taking me with you. This is all part of your plan to get me off the property.
To drop you.
You drop me.
Oh, I'll drop her.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
I'll keep on running.
All right. Harvey, what are you going to do?
Well, it'll probably dawn on Harvey in a bit, but I am going to be, I'm running towards the mansion where I assume Sydney is taking Fiona.
Okay.
And the Henrietta is over there, but I'm not going to try to shoot her with this thing because I know how lucky I was that I pulled that last shot off. So I'm not going to attack her until we get all the way there. But I'm assuming Sydney's going to the house because he's running that direction too. So I'll have a surprise in a bit.
All right, Jack. Sorry, Jack, you swung the sledgehammer. Jeffrey.
I'm also heading towards the house, but I'm not running because I'm a gentleman and I will keep a sense of composure and a stiff upper lip. I am walking briskly.
Okay.
and with a determined air, with my head held high, looking out for skeletal hands as I go.
All right.
Fiona wore the red dress, which was smart, and Harvey wore the brown pants, which was also smart. So I'm running.
Yeah. And I'm crawling towards the house.
All right. Let's see. Jack, you're in the middle of it all. Oh my God, that was 100.
I'm just saying.
Make a dodge roll.
I'm not telling you how to play your character, but if Jack were to hop towards the house, we'd have a full house there of movement. Forwards.
That would be better, but I failed my dodge by 32 points.
Well, that's okay. Actually, they several of them swipe ineffectually at you. One of them does kind of scratch you across the face, but only for 1 damage. They're slow and kind of clumsy. The rest of you are running to the house, with dignity, walking with style. Harvey, you come up upon Henrietta, unless you wanted to go around the front.
I'm walking at a good trot.
But when I see Henrietta, I'm going to level the gun at her. I'm going to tell her to put the knife down. And
you just hear, "Give Uncle Timmy a heart."
Yeah, that's all he needs. He's going to. I wasn't just going to run up and shoot her in the face, but that.
Yeah, you know.
Oh no! I don't have enough luck to make that a hit. So I evidently took out one of our very nice leaded glass windows.
Make a dodge roll.
Nope.
Nah, she swipes at the air, so you're both fine. Fiona, you're crawling. We'll say you get into the foyer area, the front door. What are you going to do?
Okay, I got 7 on how long my paranoia will last.
Okay.
But if I get into the foyer, I'm going to try to climb up the stairs and get to a bedroom that I can lock myself in.
Okay. We'll say you do that. Sydney, you're just on foot running down the mountain?
Pretty much, yeah. Logical thoughts gone out of my head, so I'm just running down the mountain until I bump into somebody or get hit by a car.
And Jeffrey, you go ahead.
Well, I'm catching up with Harvey.
Yes.
Seeing the altercation that's taken place between the two of them, I am going to grip the handle of my cane and draw the blade that's inside it.
All right. Make a sword cane roll.
Ooh, I'm quite good with this.
That 36 is a standard. Yeah, that's a standard hit.
Very well. She couldn't dodge for anything. She's rolling pretty poorly tonight.
Okay.
Make your damage roll.
Which is 1d6 plus my damage bonus, which is cool because I'm a man mountain. The first character I've ever had that had +1 build. For 7 points of damage.
Oof. All right, let's see. Can she keep it together? Nope. She falls to the ground, also unconscious. Jack, what are you going to do?
Well, I thought if we all stayed out here like grown-ups, we could just play undead whack-a-mole. But now I've been stranded, so I'm going to sort of, like an 8-year-old with a baseball bat, like spin and run at the same time up the hill toward the house. Just like, ah!
I'll let you make a roll. Go make one roll for fighting brawl. I'll give you that.
There's a lot of dead Duncans all of a sudden.
We'll see if you hit a dead Duncan on your way down.
21 is a hard success.
Okay.
Grandma.
Roll that D10.
Your cookies suck.
Not Aunt Rose.
Just a 4 on my damage, but
okay. You manage to run up to the house. They're behind you, and we'll say that you all managed to get into the house if that is what you're doing. The Duncan corpses move slowly, but with purpose. You can see that they're heading for the house.
All right, so we have to brace the place a bit now. What did Crazy Richard's recipe say? He needs 5 hearts or 6 hearts or 7 hearts?
Between 5 and 7 hearts. Where the hell is Sydney going?
Well, Sydney.
What do you just call it? You said his recipe.
Yeah, he had to boil down a witch, add 7 hearts, cook it until it didn't cook. You had to boil it.
Cook it. Well, if you have to cook it, then perhaps we should search the kitchen.
He has Elizabeth's heart, and he has the lawyer's heart.
And where the hell is Sydney going? He said it was in the Brew House, which was on the opposite side
a mile
of the
north.
cemetery. I have a rifle in my room, and I am really good with it.
They have so few organs to pierce.
There is a shotgun.
Yes, I found a cleaning kit for that. It looks a bit ropey, but there's a cleaning kit up in the study.
Happened to have some shells. Did I steal the shells, or was it just the? I think I left the shells. I took the pistol.
You know where they are if you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you left the cleaning kit in the shells. You just took the 38.
Yeah, I can.
That'll be the cleaning kit I found.
There would be shells upstairs.
Wondering about.
I'm going to get that rifle. Ed, I'll probably start yelling after Sydney, who, whatever the hell he just.
Isn't Sydney our best chance for keeping Phi alive?
Where the hell is Phi?
I don't know. The bloody trail on the stairs suggests that she went that way.
Well, I'll look for her. I'm going to go. I'm going to snatch the shotgun from over the fireplace, and then run upstairs to the study to grab the cleaning kit and the shells.
So I guess I'll barricade the downstairs so that I can.
You start to hear doom, 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 doom.
You can't have our hearts, Tim.
You can all make occult rolls.
Regular success.
Okay. Jack, you have this idea that these are obviously being controlled, and you're not sure that they're going to stop until you find what's controlling them.
Right. And that doesn't seem to be the dead body in the mausoleum, the skeleton.
that doesn't seem right. Judging by Richard Duncan's journal, and
It's probably in the brew house. It's probably, but it doesn't have enough hearts yet. So we just have to get through this to stop it before it gets more hearts. Did either Jameson or Henrietta's chest seem interfered with?
No.
Okay, so it should just have 2. Right, so I'm going to keep barricading the downstairs.
Okay.
And whacking anything that comes through while the people upstairs figure some stuff out, and then we have to go.
Harvey, were you saying you were going to call out to Sydney, like open up a window and call out to him, or no?
I'm just kind of yelling, but I'm making a beeline for my hunting rifle.
Okay.
I'm being attacked by my dead ancestors. My cousin's dead. My other cousin got knifed. I mean, I don't like her, but she was knifed.
Very well.
By a servant.
I just shot a man. I'm getting my rifle.
Sydney, you're running down the mountain road, not turning back, heading on down.
Seeing dead people come out of the graves,
That's fair.
I probably think everyone's behind me running.
Oh, you turn around, there's nobody behind you.
I just keep running because there's no point running back into the arms of dead things. So I want to keep running. I'll find help.
You hear Sydney.
That'll make me run even faster.
Bring them to me, Sydney. Bring them to me and I will show you the treasure, Sydney.
Running.
I need their hearts, Sydney. Sydney. I know where the treasure is. I can show you eternal life, Sydney.
Right.
All right. Fiona, what are you doing? You've kind of crawled up into you've gone upstairs?
I've gone upstairs. I've gone into my room. I have barricaded the door, and I don't know where the secret passageway is. But
I can't think of an excuse to return.
Enough time, and you could probably find it.
I'm not interested in finding it.
I thought you were saying you wanted to find it.
I'm staring at the wall as if it's going to open up any moment.
All right.
I'm trying to smoke, but if Lord Jeffrey knocks on my door, I'm going to scream as loud as possible.
Jeffrey, that's what you hear.
Yes. All right. Well, I did knock on the door. So obviously that's what happened. Fair enough. I'll go back downstairs then. And announce to the other two that Miss Fiona Duncan is not receiving visitors.
You hear a crash from one of the downstairs windows as something is coming through. What do you want to do?
Your sword looks faster than my sledgehammer, Jeffrey, but we're going to have to remain mindful.
No, and Harvey will say you gathered all of your tools as well.
Yeah, I think this house is dangerous. They can get in. There are passages we know about. There might be more we don't. I'm clearly a believer in something weird right now. I say that we go to the brew house.
I agree, but we can't leave Fiona. Immense pain in the ass that she is. We can't leave someone at the mercy of those things. Right. Jack, take this shotgun, start cleaning it. I'm going to go and get Fiona.
I don't know anything about how any of this works.
For God's sake, man. Just hit someone with the big end.
Well, I have a sledgehammer. I can use that.
Well, you use your sledgehammer and
you can clean
I'll
your
put the
ancient
shotgun
hunting
down on the
antique.
table, and I'm going to run upstairs to Fiona's room, and using the full force of my my bulk, I am going to shoulder into the door and attempt to break the door down.
Okay.
Almost at the instant that I'm doing that, I'm thinking, I could have just gone in through the secret passage.
I've just got a wonderful Jack Nicholson going on in my head.
Here's Jeffrey.
I have unsurprisingly made the strength roll.
Yeah, you're a big dude. So yeah, you muscle it open. There's Fiona.
Lord Jeffrey, what are you going to do to me?
I prefer not to have to slap you. So if you'd rather just come with me now, this house isn't safe. It's not safe. Come on, let's go. Move.
All right. At this point, I'm probably compliant because I'm terrified.
Yeah, your paranoia has passed.
Yeah.
Along with half of your blood.
That's my
And the doctor has left the building.
You stabilized her first, happily.
Bring a coat or a blanket or something. We're going outside.
I've got my boa.
That's an intestine.
It'll have to do.
It's an intestine.
Ah! As you are congregating downstairs, you see some of the Duncan ancestors coming in through the window in the the back wall of the kitchen area. So they kind of came up from the cemetery. They're kind of coming in through the kitchen windows, or the back wall windows by the kitchen.
Okay. I say we go right out the front door and around.
Right, they're mostly slow.
Yes, they're quite slow.
We'll go right out the front door and circle.
Can I just ask, is the map you gave us for the estate,
Yes.
is that on a north-south axis?
Yes.
So the cemetery is at the north?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's the woods past the cemetery.
Right.
Now most of the deadites are over here, so.
Probably, Harvey, the footprints you saw going into the forest last night will lead us toward the brew house.
That's my thoughts. When we do circle around, is Henrietta still lying on the ground and Jamison still lying on the ground?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And you can see the Duncan ancestors are piling back out the way they came, and they're moving toward you.
I'm going
You family!
I always thought our family was rotten, but I really couldn't appreciate it.
I look forward to selling this house.
I'm going to pop a couple of shells into the shotgun. Look, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about this. I'm going to fire one shell into each of them, Jameson and Henrietta, in the chest.
Mm-hmm. All right. They're lying there. It's point blank. You don't even have to roll for that. That's the shotgun?
Yes.
Did you clean the shotgun?
I haven't cleaned it yet.
All right.
Oh,
you're taking a shot?
Well, yes, I am. I'm taking a shot.
Okay.
I think first that Henrietta was nearest to the house. So yeah.
Okay. You take a shot, and the dirty gun that's been sitting above the fireplace for years backfires on you, and you take D8 damage.
Ooh.
And everyone within 10 feet of you takes 10 D4 damage.
I hear that.
Yep, you hear that.
Oh, that's not bad. That's just a 2.
I'm sorry, you said 10d4?
No.
1d4.
1d4. I'm sorry, I goofed.
Oh. 1.
I have taken 2 points of damage. Bloody thing! Christ Almighty!
1 is 1/3 of what I have left.
And 2 still hurts.
Carried away in the whole business and forgot to clean the bloody thing. See, if Jack had cleaned it for me, we wouldn't have had this problem.
Jeffrey, ow. If I had tried to clean it, it probably would have blown up on you.
Well, perhaps if you hadn't dropped out of bloody college, you'd know how, wouldn't you?
Columbia doesn't teach skeet shooting, you kilted shit.
Would everyone stop fighting?
Sydney's going to get this inheritance.
Yeah. Oh, Sydney's going to get eaten by something before he gets down to the bottom of the hill.
I think right now we are a danger to ourselves.
You can all make dodge rolls.
Okay.
Sydney's wearing Nikes.
As you've been standing there in the Duncan ancestors.
I think it's perfectly in character to just stop in the middle of of this all and just have an argument.
Especially when we're suddenly injured.
I couldn't think of an excuse why I would come back to help him.
Did anyone fail?
28 out of 30. Whatever I've dodged it by the skin of my teeth.
Jack passed.
I did it 40 out of 40.
Everyone passed. Okay, so the ancestors are upon you now, and they've taken swipes at you, and you're hello. What are you going to do?
Run away.
You're running north to the woods.
Yeah, I just got a 4 on my dodge, so I would beg the keeper for a sort of quick roundhouse sledgehammer.
Sure.
Because Fiona's got to have a little bit of a.
Go ahead. I'll give it to you.
I've gotten very good at dodging horny men.
I rolled an 86, so I just whiffed.
Nope,
but
swing and miss.
The Streets of Fire, where they have a sledgehammer fight at the end. That's what Jack has become Willem Dafoe with a sledgehammer.
Well, I'm just going to run north, and I am lashing out either side of me with a shotgun that I'm using as a club in one hand and a sword cane in the other.
Sydney, make a listen roll.
I'm also sure that I lost my shoes somewhere back there.
Probably for the best.
Probably up in the bedroom with your marbles.
No, I fouled my listen roll terribly.
Okay. So you don't hear the giant flapping of leathery wings, but you certainly feel a claw come knock. Well, let's see if it actually does knock you. Oh, it does. You can feel that claw right now. And it is 9 damage.
Ouch.
We're all going to die.
All going to die.
Nemec Conroll.
I'm certainly will.
But I'm too young and beautiful to die.
Yeah.
And I'm too clever.
Make con roll, no problem.
You make the con roll. So you can see the demonic face that looks very similar to those little carvings that Jeffrey had tucked away with him. It is horrifying. Make a sanity roll.
Yes, darling.
9.
9.
Oh, look.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's a just 1.
You don't scare me, you bastard.
The rest of you run through the woods and you find what is clearly the burned out remains of the brew house.
Oh,
it is dilapidated. It's falling apart. What do you want to do?
The basement. There's the note that they wouldn't find the basement.
The vat is in the cellar with the fat. Let me try to clear some rubble with the sledgehammer again, checking the surface for weak spots before I step on them.
I'm sorry, the stairs is what you're saying?
Well, I
I didn't
didn't know we'd
catch
found
that
the stairs, but just sort of clearing some clear part of the rubble to look for the cellar entrance.
Right.
And also checking before I walk on anything.
Right.
So that it's
the flooring is very fragile here, but you do see cellar steps.
Fiona, do you have a weapon?
Nothing.
Her charm.
I don't even have a cigarette.
You know how to clean a shotgun?
Of course.
Well, thank goodness for that. Very straightforward. I mean, it's a tube and a brush.
Actually, my firearms for a rifle's pretty high.
I have. How's your pistol?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's for a pistol. My pistol's high. My shotgun's not.
I have a 38 with 4 bullets.
If you want to sit up top and protect us, is that your idea? Or have her watch down below?
Oh, she was going to ride my shoulders like Master Blaster, but that works too. But I can't shoot a pistol.
Just give me the pistol. Give me the pistol.
It's got 4 bullets.
For all of us. So I'm gonna sort of prod the stairs with the sledgehammer and try to keep on maybe not the middle of the step, but the edge.
Okay.
And try to make it down.
All right.
Is there sunlight penetrating the?
Yeah, you get like the slats of the weak floor, like sunlight's kind of coming through the floor.
All right.
As you head down, you hear a little voice in your head, Jack. Deliver them to me, Jack. Deliver them to me, and I will show you where the treasure is. I need their hearts.
It's dusty down here.
I'm thinking right now, damn it, Sydney had the flashlight and the cigarettes.
At the bottom of the stairs, are you all going down with him?
I'm staying at the top.
Okay,
okay.
I'm handing Fiona a pistol. At least she can make a noise, and I'll go down.
You see a gas stove, like new gas stove, and a very, very large copper vat sitting on top of it, and the flames licking up the side of it. It smells nasty. Sydney, you're staring down this demonic creature.
Trying to crawl to the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously quite hurt badly, so there's not much I can really do. I just try and crawl away and get away from him, which I'll probably not be able to do.
That is correct.
I shouldn't think he'd have any trouble catching me.
No. I'll give you another dodge. See if you can roll out of the way.
I don't know if I could do a dodge. I've only about 4 hit points left.
Did you dodge or no? Sorry.
Well, I didn't think I'll be able to dodge, to be honest, but no.
Okay.
No.
So it takes another swipe at you for 6 damage.
That'll be enough to kill me and send me back to the family to kill them.
It picks you up and it is flying away. All right. Those of you down in the basement, you see the vat boiling on the stove. What are you going to do?
I'm going to turn the stove off.
Okay, so you're coming right up to it?
Well, with the end of my sword.
Okay.
I'm just going to sort of twiddle the dial with the end of my... twiddle the knob with the end of my sword.
Okay.
As best I can, slightly distracted because the effort of will is taking me not to shout out the word embargo after Seth said something about Master Blaster. It's almost overwhelming. And I'm going to try as best I can
to
Okay.
twiddle the knob with my with my sword.
Okay. It takes you a minute fumbling, but you end up you manage to turn the gas off.
Are there any visible creatures down here, or just the cellar and the stove?
Just the cellar and the stove.
So I'm gonna circle the cellar,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna look for the gas line in toward the stove.
Okay.
Uh,
You find it. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you getting close to the stove?
I'm staying as close to the wall as I can.
Okay. All right. You see
There's
it.
hot oil and all. And I figure I can crimp a gas line with a sledgehammer so that nothing can flow. Although we shouldn't stick around afterwards.
Okay.
So I'm going to give that line right at the, if it comes down the cellar. Is it a round or square cellar?
Square.
Why I care. Just the sorts of things make me wonder. And there's no other piping or plumbing or electricity. There's nothing here. Just a gas line that got fed in.
Yeah.
Copper line?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a nice, 5 inches from the wall, just a solid smack to try to close off the source.
Okay. As you do that, you hear rumbling from the cauldron, and the lid flies off, and the liquidy remains of Uncle Timothy, and you can see clearly his head, his upper torso, his arms, and the rest of him is just greasy, dripping fat. And he says, "Come give your Uncle Timmy a kiss." And he starts climbing out of the cauldron and flops on the floor, and he's crawling toward you, Jack.
Would like to shoot.
You can all make sanity rolls.
Yeah. His bones are still in the sepulcher.
Oh, I failed that one.
D6 if you fail, just 1 if you pass.
Oh, I failed it.
My sanity is 87 and I failed it.
I took 4, so I'm keeping my legs.
Fiona, make a listen roll.
Yes, 29.
Okay. You can hear the large, leathery flapping of wings overhead as this enormous demonic creature flies and then just drops Sydney's body, boom, right in front of you and flies away. Make a sanity roll.
It's raining, man.
36. Let's see. Yeah, that's still in my sanity. I'm fine.
Okay. Just 1. Sydney, you're now part of the reanimated Duncan ancestry, and Fiona's standing right in front of you.
I'll go for it. Don't mind me.
Okay, so it's your new brawl is 55, and you can only do 1d3 damage.
Sydney, are you okay?
I think the time to clean the shotgun has been gone. Really, I think it's just a club now.
You can use it as a club.
I'm gonna drop it and stick with my sword.
Okay.
Do I roll a hit?
Oh yeah, sorry. My apologies.
Is he attacking me?
He's swinging at you. Yes.
Then I shoot him right.
And you can. He's just got gouges in his chest, and he's.
Okay, I'm shooting for his head.
Okay.
Nah, I missed. I'm too frightened.
Okay. Did you succeed, Sydney, in attacking?
No.
Okay, so you're just both trying to hit each other ineffectually. Down in the basement, what are the 3 of you doing?
I would like is the stove is still on, is off. We turned it off, so the fire is out.
Yes.
Shit. Because that could have, you shoot the pot, if flammable fat comes out onto the fire, but the fire's out. Is Uncle Timothy still in the pot, or is
He's
he
kind of like
toward
flopped
me.
out
Across the
onto the floor. Yes.
Okay. Let's see what 30-06 does to Liquid Tim.
Okay.
Hard success.
Okay. Take a shot. What's the damage?
$14.
Oh, Jesus. Uncle Timothy explodes in a hot, greasy mess all over the basement. Those of you standing will take, let's see, 6 damage as
damn.
hot, acidic grease just burns your skin. It's not even hot it's hot like from the fire, but it also burns like it's acid.
Okay, I need to make a con roll off of that.
Yes.
Did you say we take 6 points of damage?
Yes.
Yeah, I also need to make a con roll.
Fiona,
I passed
Sydney Duncan just collapses on the ground in front of you as if whatever has propelled him into motion no
28.
longer exists. If you made the con roll, you're still standing. If you failed, obviously you've fainted on the ground.
Do I see all the other bodies out here drop to the ground as well?
And kind of in the distance, it was a little bit of a walk up here. You see the corpses also drop to the ground.
May I ask what on the face of it might seem a tangential question?
Go ahead.
It's about the fire safety precautions in this cellar. Now I'm just wondering whether you see, usually if you've got some sort of a gas line and a source of flame like that, it's usually the done thing to have one of those big red buckets full of sand knocking about. Is there such a big red bucket full of sand in this cellar?
No, it
Or
did not
has-
seem like Uncle Timothy cared about fire safety in the afterlife.
What a terrible, terrible man!
Health and safety is health and safety, guys. If you're alive and dead.
I'm getting on to the local authority about this after if I get out of this.
I yell down the stairs, something's happened. They've stopped.
I had such a great idea if there was a bucket of sand. So, never mind.
Jack, it sounded like you had plans clamping the hose there.
I think that I had struck the pipe before Timothy got out of the pot, but
Yes. Okay, I wasn't sure if you had another plan there. I thought maybe you were going with like blowing up the brew house. Or something.
The plan is,
Okay.
is I assume that in hitting a gas line with a sledgehammer, I'm going to cause a small rupture.
Yes.
If not a large
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
or
say
if it's
that.
copper, you just flattened the pipe completely.
Well, that's the thing.
That's-
Did it
that's
crimp
true.
neatly or did it tear a little bit? I think it's not safe down here. is
No,
my
it's probably
larger
not
point.
safe. That's
Also, I've just been burned within
Well,
the
there's a
slightest inch of my life.
murderous reanimated blob of Uncle Timothy over there. I mean, I'd call that unsafe.
Yeah, I'm going to stagger toward the stairs because I have 1 hit point left.
The floor is probably really slippery with Uncle Timothy.
Very. And when we get to the top, we need to have one of you crack shots, put a hole in the pot full of hearts and fat to make sure he doesn't keep coming out.
Well, I think that would be Harvey because my sword cane is out of ammunition.
Well, when I said crack shots, I was thinking of Fiona. But I'm going to probably take 20 minutes to get up the stairs because I was covered with boiling acidic Timothy.
Oh, you smell like a fry cook.
You smell just like Uncle Timothy smelled.
My tailor's going to bloody kill me.
And we're going to come up and see Sydney dead.
Yep. Who has been torn apart by something. You don't know what. And he is miraculously now at the brew house.
Did he have a lighter?
Yeah. No, you guys all smell. Everybody smells.
Have a lighter.
We all have lighters. Yeah. I would like to fashion a fire.
Okay.
Down there, because if I'm going to shoot the gas line, I need something for it to
Right. Okay.
light off of. So I would like to light a torch or something. If that doesn't light the liquidy joy of my uncle by itself, I will then shoot
it
the
does.
gas light once we're further away.
Right. No, it lights on fire. And I'm assuming you all take your distance away from the house and you take a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. And the brew house goes up.
Fuck. Lord Jeffrey, you're not going to stop them? The money's in the fucking basement.
You know, there comes a point when, as you Americans would say, saving your own ass is the most important course of action. I'm not entirely sure why Americans are so fond of donkeys, but saving your own mule, as you would say.
It hurts.
And you find the remains of the Duncans just strewn about as if they were clearly on their way to the brew house.
Okay.
They've just collapsed onto the ground.
I need a doctor.
The bodies of Jameson, Henrietta, the butler, and Sydney are all on the estate grounds to be explained, I suppose, if anyone else were to come up here.
Oh,
why do they have to kill the only one of us who's a bloody doctor?
Whoa. we could dispose of Sydney and say how he did this to frighten us away from the inheritance.
Well, it would be easy enough to push that body into the brew house before you, because that's going to be a hot fire. But Elizabeth is going to be harder, and the servants.
He killed her beforehand.
Can't we just say that a gang of thugs attacked us during the will reading and they managed to kill everyone, including Cynthia, and wounded all of us?
The servants killed Sydney and Elizabeth. They tried to kill us, and we defended ourselves.
Good. Does anybody have first aid? Not you, Sydney.
I can try.
Yes.
Oh, Jeffrey. We have grease birds.
At 25 out of 30.
I'm cauterized.
You can patch each other up with time. Are you staying for the rest of the weekend?
Well, do we grow closer because of this tragedy?
No.
Fiona, I always loved you.
In fact, I'm glad I bloody died.
And I'm glad you bloody died too. Insufferable.
Everyone hated me just because I had a better education.
Were the spare tires on all of our cars slashed as well?
No, looks like they weren't.
Yeah, but that only helps with one tire on the car.
We have 4 tires.
Are they all the same size? Well, maybe.
Do you care?
Can't we just wait until tomorrow morning when what's-his-name gets here?
The lawyer is going to come. He'll probably bring a sheriff.
We're going to have to explain this somehow, but that'll give us time to figure out a good story.
Yeah, no, the serpents went crazy.
They were into some occult shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why they'd got $1,500.
They knew where
Well-
the money was, maybe, and they'll try to kill us all.
Okay.
We'll end it there with you all trying to figure out what to tell the police.
We're rich. They'll believe us.
Rich and injured.
Fantastic.
Good game, Holly. Good game.
Lovely, Holly.
Great.
So now tell us more of what was really going on here.
So Uncle Timothy is a witch, and he learned from the tome of Richard Duncan the way to prolong or to guarantee eternal life. And he knew that it involved hearts. And so he made the preparation. He drugged his servants. He hired a blacksmith from in town to set up all of the equipment in the brew house, and drugged his servants, killed himself. They were overseeing the brewing process and making sure that the temperature was right and everything else.
Oh, they
And then
rendered
they
him
were-
down.
Sorry, what?
They rendered his fat, and that.
Yes,
that
they
in the
rendered
brew
his
house.
fat down. Elizabeth arrived early. She unfortunately met her demise. And from there, it was them trying to obtain all of your hearts and deliver them to Uncle Timothy. He knew minimum was 5, so he tried to entice a couple of you to deliver the rest to him so that he could get these hearts and maybe entice you with the promises of treasure, but probably end up killing you himself anyway.
I used my willpower to see whether when you guys all went down into the basement, if I didn't just come up behind you and pop you all.
I was actually very afraid of giving you a pistol for that reason,
Well,
but I also
just-
figured undead.
I was strong enough to resist that temptation.
Oh, it's okay. When Lord Jeffrey was doing his long, like, I'm very sorry about this. He was like, and I shoot them. I was like, he shoots.
Well, you see, I mean, when one is running away from the undead, the last thing one is thinking about is whether or not one has cleaned one's shotgun.
That is the
I was
moral
waiting.
of this
I was
game.
waiting for that shotgun. I was like, oh, they didn't clean it. No.
Oh no, I became completely aware that I hadn't cleaned it around the moment that I committed to firing it. That was almost instant realization. I thought, well,
That's when you realise it's fucked up.
I'm here now. I might as well.
Who was it that we saw walking towards the cemetery?
It was Henrietta. She had gone to tend to Elizabeth's body and to go out to the brew house to tend to the rendering. He does have a demon at his disposal. This is the first game I've ever used it because it seems a little bit extra when it's in writing. You're like, really? Dead bodies and the servants and a demon?
Thank
But
you.
I couldn't let you just get away with nothing,
No.
Sydney.
I don't mind being killed by a demon.
Would
It
it
rhymes up
smashing the little statues have killed the demon?
No.
No, I would have wasted.
And in
around
fact,
smashing
there's
statues.
a tome you could have found that like has a spell that explicitly says how to summon the demon, and I'm like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Without bind.
Thank you so much, Holly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, Holly. Well done. Nicely.
Our players included Seth Berkowski, Simon Ward, Mick Swan, David Gasway, and myself with Holly Buto as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. There's a link below. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The cost involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.